Hello children, I hope you all have understood everything what I have done in module 1 with regard to present tense and all their subdivisions, also how to convert it into the affirmative, negative as well as interrogative. Now in this module we will be dealing with the past tense of each section. Okay. So now let me screen of the past tense. Now what do you understand by the term past tense? Now past tense is nothing but to express an action that has been completed. Okay, that means just what happened to 2 minutes before will come under the past tense category. What I am doing now is present tense. Okay, and what is yet to happen after 2 minutes I do not know, so that will come under the future tense. So now we'll think or we'll now be dealing with past tense. Okay, as the definition goes, to express an action that has been completed. How will you express the past tense? So you have got the subject plus the verb that is expressed in the past form. Okay, that is expressed in the past form. For example, if you have got the verb weep, now what do you mean by weep? Crying. Okay, so how will you express a subject plus the verb in the past? So now your verb is given as weep. Just the verb is given as weep. So this usually when the verb is given, it will be always given in the present tense. Now how you have to convert it into the past form of this verb. So weep, what will be the past this thing? It will be wept. Okay. Now how are you going to express this simple past tense in the affirmative, negative and in the interrogative, given that your verb is sing? Okay, to sing a song, sing. Okay, here the screen is going up. I will just, okay. Now how are you going to express it in the affirmative, negative and the interrogative, given that your verb is sing? First person pronoun. Okay, first person singular I, plural we. Okay, so now your verb is sing. What is the past form of the verb? Sang. So I sang. If you have to express it in the plural, we sang. If you have to express it in the negative, I did not sing. Remember, it changes back here. Here you are not expressing it in the past form. Because of the negative presence of the word, you are reverting it back to the form in which it is the same. And then when you have to say, express it, we did not sang. Can you say the word we did not sang? No, it sounds wrong. So we did not sing. Then how will you express it in the interrogative? Did I sing? Or did you, can you say did I sang? No, because when you are asking the question, usually it will be did I sing? Did we sing? Okay. Then how will you express it in the second person? Singular and in plural both are expressed in the same manner. You sang, you did not sing, you did not sing, did you sing? Did you sing? Of course, you have to pay attention. You have to put the question mark also. Then, how will you express it in the third person singular as well as the third person plural? Now, third person singular is he, she, it. Now, it we cannot sing a non-living thing to be singing. So, he sang, she sang, he, she did not sing, did he or she sing? Now when it comes to the plural, they sang, they did not sing, did they sing? Of course, you have to pay attention to the interrogative sign given there. So with this, we are finishing with the simple past tense. Now simple past tense, after that we move on to the next screen, that is past continuous tense. Now before we move on to the past continuous tense, in your textbooks, moving on to chapter 11, okay, chapter 11, page 81, you will have to do the exercises of A, B and C in your textbooks itself, okay. A, B and C in your textbooks itself. So, those are the exercises that are related to your simple past tense. Now, we are moving on to the next part, the next subdivision of past tense, that is past continuous tense. Now, how will you express it? You are going to express it as subject plus was or were plus the ing form of the verb. Ing form of the verb. Now, given that your verb is eat, okay. Now, how will you remember continuous? When anything is continuous, you have always to remember that the verb is always going to be ending in an ing form. So, for example, if your verb is given as eat, I was eating, okay. Now, how are you going to express this in the affirmative, negative and interrogative form? Okay, so here I will just swipe it up. Okay, here I have got it in the first person. Now, in the first person here, that is I or we. So, how I am going to express it in the continuous, past continuous form? I was eating. I was not eating. Was I eating? So, these are how are you going to express it in the affirmative, negative and the interrogative form. When it comes to the plural, we were eating, positive or affirmative sentence, we were not eating and were you eating. Okay, so this is how you are going to express it in the plural, first person plural. Now, second person singular and plural both are in the same. You were eating, you were not eating and were you eating. So, the same thing repeated here, that is why I did not write it, but the same thing, you were eating, you were not eating, were you eating. Now, how are you going to express it in the third person singular and in the third person plural? Here, he, she was eating, he, she was not eating, was he or she eating? That is in the third person singular. They were eating, because the subject is in the plural, your verb also takes the plural form. They were not eating, were they eating? So, here you have to interchange the subject and the verb because it is the interrogative question. So, this is how you will be expressing your past continuous tense. So, when you are finished with this table, after you finish with this table, you go into your textbooks and do exercise D and E, page 82 of your textbooks. Okay, page 82, exercise D and E of your textbooks. Only then you can move on to the next part of your subdivision of your past tense, that is the past perfect tense. Now, how are you going to express it in the past perfect tense? Children, when you all look at it and say, oh my God, this is getting too much, everything is becoming all mixed up and all, don't get confused, don't panic, because if you panic, then everything is all going to get mixed up and you are only going to confuse yourself more. At the end, when you are finished with all these three, what you do is you just make a big tabular, take a blank paper and make a big table there, and you just write the tenses, simple, on this side you just write present, past, future, and in this side you just write simple, continuous tense, perfect tense and perfect continuous tense, and how they go around changes, or with examples you can write. At a glance you get everything here, because since we are explaining, all the formats are coming in different places or in different pages, but at the end when you finish with the future model also, that time you can just take a big A4 size paper and make a big tabular table with how the conversion, how each sentence appears in the present form, future form and in the past under their subdivisions. Now here past perfect tense. How are you going to express it? It is subject plus had, past, had plus the past participle of the verb. I just used a short form there. So now before also I have told you how you will express it. Either it comes in the en, ed, d or t. So that is how you are going to express that. For example, if your given verb is speak, how will you express it in the past verb? Go with subject, I had, speak is a verb. When you change it into the past participle, either it will have an ending with en, ed, d or this. So here speak becomes spoken. Okay. So I had spoken. That is how you are going to express this given sentence in this verb in the past perfect tense. Now how are you going to express it? In the affirmative, negative and in the interrogative. Now I will not be going into the details of the explanation, since now we have all done for each and respective subdivision of the tenses. Now I think so if you just look at the table, you will understand. First person is I had spoken, we had spoken. I had not spoken, we had not spoken. Had I spoken? Question mark, had we spoken. Second person, you had spoken, same way it goes for the plural. You had not spoken, same way for the plural. Had you spoken, same way for the plural. Now third person. Third person, he, she, it had spoken, they had spoken. Not spoken, negative, they had not spoken, negative. And here interrogative, had he or she spoken, had they spoken. So that is how you are going to express past perfect tense in the affirmative, negative and in the interrogative. So this is what we are going to be doing with the past perfect. Now when you finish off with the past perfect, you have to do your exercise G and exercise H from your textbook, that is page 83 and page 84 of your textbook. Okay. Then only we will move on to the next part of your subdivision, that is past perfect continuous tense. Since I told you it is a combination of the perfect tense as well as the continuous tense. So here together we have got past perfect continuous tense. So here it is had plus the ing form plus an extra verb put in there. So it is subject plus had plus been plus ing form of the verb. Okay. Now for example, if your given verb is read, how are you going to express it in the past perfect continuous tense? So I had been, your word is read, reading. I had been reading. So that is how it is going to be expressed in the past perfect continuous tense. Now how are you going to express it in the affirmative, negative and in the interrogative manner? So that is very much similar to how we have expressed it before also. Only thing this time I did not write the whole table. I just wrote part of it. Like for example, if I have to express the past perfect continuous tense first person plural, how am I going to express it? We had been reading. If I have to express it in the negative form, in the second person singular, you had not been reading. Sorry, I missed out a word here. You had not been reading. Then if it is in the interrogative and you have to express in the third person plural. So there you have to say it as they. They intro. Had they been reading? So see, now because the full table is not given, there could be chances that you will get mixed up, like how I also made a mistake here. But think and then you give out your answers. Don't say, yeah, I know it, and then quickly give out your answers. No, think and give out your answers, because you don't want your losing marks. So same thing also, don't try it out for your exam. Register in your mind what is it that they are asking for, and likewise do your conversion of your sentences. So this is how you are going to be doing it in the past perfect continuous tense. Okay, so now before we move on to the next module of future tense, I want you children to be doing exercise I in the notebook, because this has to be written in the notebook, because here it says you have to convert it and you have to use certain words, extra words. So there won't be space to be doing that exercise in your notebook, in your textbook. So in your notebook on a new page, you just write page number 84, exercise I. Write the main heading of your question, what it is about, what is printed in red, and then write only the answers. Okay. Then you can do exercise J and K in your textbooks itself, because they are just fill in the blanks. Then exercise L has to be done in the notebook, because that is also where you have to rewrite the sentences again. So with this, we will now be ending with the 4 subdivisions of your past tense also. Okay. So with this, we end the past tense module also.